It's a new day, a new riding day in the sand. Today we're gonna try new stuff, new exercises. For the beginning, we're gonna try an extreme situation where we digged the rear wheel in the sand. So we will try to get out of the sand, take out the rear wheel from the sand when it's really digged in the sand. So this is an extreme situation. As a beginner off-road rider in the sand, I've encountered this situation yesterday. It was very difficult, and we're gonna give it a try today to see how and what techniques to use to take out the rear wheel from the sand when it's really down. And it's time to try this technique of taking the rear wheel from the deep sand. We're gonna dig it, we're gonna bury it, so to speak, gonna accelerate, put the rear wheel in the sand until it reaches the chain, and we will try to see how difficult actually is to take it out. I think this technique is very important to practice, because yesterday I tried it and I saw how hard it is. I would like to give it another try to take out the rear wheel from the sand. During your trips you might encounter this situation quite often, especially if you're not a professional rider, or if you are a beginner rider in the sand. You might encounter this situation where you're standing on the bike, you put too much weight on the rear, on the deep sand, and eventually you're gonna bury your rear wheel in the sand. And taking it off the sand might become a big challenge. It's like a burnout in the sand. Let's take a look how much the rear wheel it's digged in the sand, how much has sinked. As you can see, it's also the chain and the sprocket, half of the sprocket, the swing arm, and half of the rear, it's in the sand. We're gonna try different techniques. The first one will be to take it out, to try to take it out with the acceleration, with a gentle acceleration, to see if we are able to take it out. If we don't succeed, we're gonna try with the balance. We're gonna try to balance the bike front and rear, front and back, and with the acceleration together, try to get it out. If this technique will not work, we will try to dig around the bike, around the wheel, to make space for the bike to advance somehow. And these are the techniques which we're gonna use. We see what is working. This is an extreme situation, and I'm pretty sure that sooner or later, when riding in the sand, I'm gonna encounter, or you're gonna encounter also, this type of situation. So let's see how we will take it out. I have to say that the technique will be not to put the weight on the rear. I'm gonna find a controllable position with my feet on the ground, but I'm not gonna stand on the seat, because I don't want to sink even more and put more weight on the rear. The purpose is to take it out from the sand, and by standing on the seat, I'm not doing nothing but sink it more. So I'm gonna stand up and try to take it out gently with the acceleration. We're gonna see if the tires are helping or the tires actually don't matter in this scenario. I'm very curious to see the progress, how will everything will end. Let's give it a try. Of course, we need to take out the traction control and ABS. All right, let's put it in the first gear and try to see. Okay, so no movement actually. Let's make it left and right, create some space. Oh, I think it's synced more. Let's create some. Let's try with a balance. No, it's impossible from this. No, it doesn't work from this positioning. All right, so it's not working with the first technique. We're gonna use the other techniques. All right, we need to start digging without our gloves. I'm gonna take it out, and we need to start digging, man, otherwise there's no chance. First I'm gonna spread it out because it's very compact. The sand is very compact, it's also wet, and first I'm gonna spread it, and after that it will be easier to take it by hand. I can imagine what this sand can do to the sprockets and the chain, but man, it's a very important technique to learn, and of course we have to do it. There is no other way around. We need to create space in the front, of course, to advance. Everything is digged. What is very important is to stabilize or to be sure that the bike it's somehow stable. Maybe you want to keep it, you want to grab it with your hand to be able that the bike will not fall on you or on the other side. This is also very important. Oh, look what is here. As soon as we dig, as much as we dig, we're gonna make room for the bike to balance. So we need to grab it. Okay. Now what's here? It could take ages. We need to dig in the front of the rear, in the front of the rear wheel. We have also the central stand, which is somehow anchored the bike more in the sand. You could encounter even a harder surface or harder sand or a harder mud. This is wet. Okay, let's disperse somehow or dissipate the sand and make some room. We need to create a channel for the rear to pass. We need to make, you know, something like this, a channel for the rear to pass. Now the sand is on the skid plate. Maybe it helps to take it out. The skid plate could also... All right, check it out. We have space. Okay, let's see. Everything is in the sand, digged. Another extreme technique is to lean the bike on a side that the damage will be very little. For example, let me show you. I could eventually lean the bike on the left side and make room for digging or for creating a path, you know. So we have this surface which cannot make damage to the bike, you know, and we lean the bike on the left side and try to take it completely out from the sand. Let's give it a try also with this technique, because it could take ages to dig this amount of sand. We want to escape as fast as possible from this situation. So I've rechecked the technique. I'm gonna lean it on the right side because here I could damage, for example, this chain protection, the chain slider, and I'm gonna make some space here to be able to go with the wheel on the right side. We need a little bit of space here around the chain and around the wheel. We need to make space here. Okay, make space here to be able to lean the bike on the right side. Let's see. Oh man, this is really a challenge. And also consumes a lot of energy. Imagine you have to take out your bike from the sand and then continue riding on the sand, which is anyway challenging and takes a lot of energy out. Okay, right, somehow. Let's see in which. Okay. Good. So I think there will be space to take. Okay, I saw the bike leaned. I think if I push it more, it will get it out. I will take some sand also from here. I don't want to expose the exhaust. That's why having a higher exhaust really helps, man. Really helps having the exhaust higher positioned and have more space around it on the right side. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, let's also make space here. Make space around the foot peg and the brake lever, which is already bent from my last off-road trainings. I need a new one, or I need an off-road brake pedal, a proper one. Okay, so we've made space and now it's time. Let's see. Okay, okay, all right, okay. Oh yes, 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 this was my purpose. All right, I'm really pleased about the results so far. So I think we are on a good way. What we want to do is cover the hole First we're gonna cover it with the sand from the wheel. We want to make the wheel free. Okay, so hopefully we will also clean the tire, so we have plenty of grip, maximum grip. We need those knobbies to take us out. All right, so let's clean as much as we can. Good. What is very important is to put the sand from the front, and we need to take the sand from the front and put it to the rear, because anyway we need this to be as clean as possible to advance better. So we need to take the sand from this side. Let's dig it and put it back here. Take as much sand as we can from the front side. Okay, as much as we can from the front. Oh man, this is not easy. Not easy at all. Not easy at all. We need to distribute the sand here to make it as higher as possible. Okay. Put it here, and then we're gonna put our legs on to make it more, more firm. We need to have a firm surface. Let's clean those knobbies. Let's clean the tire. Okay, look. Now it's time to lift the bike. The technique of lifting the bike, it's not useful only when you crash. The technique of lifting the bike is very useful in this extreme situation also. So trying to practice and trying to take control of your bike, lifting your bike, it's very, very useful on this type of situation, on emergency situations, when you really need to be able to know how to lift your bike, to know what to expect. So this is very, very important. So now somehow we're gonna have more grip, and we would like to gently get out of this situation. This is the purpose, to find the best solution to get out. Let's stick one more time the ground, and now we're gonna lift the bike. Of course, when lifting the bike, let's at least put this one on. It will not stay, but it will offer us extra safety and some time to get on the other side of the bike. It will sink eventually in the sand because I don't have the proper kickstand off-road support. So yeah, this is also definitely must for any adventure bike. Okay. Let's put it in the first gear. Let's check it. Okay, we have the bike in the first gear. Some of you already suggested to keep the front brake, but in this type of situation I think the rear is more important. In this sand I really need to push it with my legs. I have no power I have no power to lift it with my body. I need to use my legs. Wow, it's very difficult. Whoa, so difficult, man. It was a pain. All right, let me straight up the front. Okay, and another technique will be to surround the bike. Let me keep up my breath. What options do we have now? We have three options, I think. One will be to get on the bike and gently, with the throttle taken out. It looks quite stable on this surface. The other technique will be to push it without the engine on, and the third one will be to accelerate it from the side. I will try to see the third one, accelerating gently the bike like this. And I haven't tried this technique, so I would like to try this technique because I saw how difficult it is to push it. I will try this technique. Okay, let's see. Okay. Now is the moment of truth. Let's put it in the first gear and try to get it out. Okay, gently. I don't want to push it anymore. Okay, I would like to take it step by step. I don't want to hurry. This is the main purpose. I would like to stabilize my feet. The feet are stabilized. I don't want to grab and put too much force on the throttle. Anyway, I have my hand on the clutch, but it's important. You could end up you know, twisting the throttle and the bike goes like that. So I will try to gently. Maybe I prefer to stall the bike. The front has to be straight. Okay, so let's go. Okay. All right, the bike is out, man. The bike is out. Let's put it in the neutral. Okay, the bike is out. Before we get to the conclusions, if you would like to have more type of this content, please subscribe, like, and distribute this video. The experience of taking the rear wheel from the deep sand, it was quite a hard one. I mean, it's not challenging, it's very challenging, and I will suggest, before getting into this situation, perhaps you can prevent it. How you can prevent it? You should always check how much your rear is synced. If you see that it starts sinking very fast, it's better to stop. It's better to get off the bike and try to get the bike out. Don't advance, don't push it too much, don't accelerate, don't sit. One situation doesn't mean one technique. It's a combination of techniques in order to ride in the sand, to take out your bike in the sand, to control it, to lift it. It's to turn it 180, to turn it from the acceleration, to brake it. Every technique, it's a combination of other technique. Every situation necessitates a combination of techniques to be used. And think about it, I'm just a beginner rider. You maybe are an advanced rider or a beginner rider like me. In any situation you've been, you
really need to know what to do. And this is the purpose of those trainings, to put myself in this type of situations at my skill level, which is a beginner off-road skill level, and try to get out of these situations by myself. Otherwise, if I make a trip, a long trip, what would I do if I don't know how to get out of, if I didn't even try once a surface? Don't forget to subscribe and see you next time.